Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Ninjago. Today we're going to be going over some theories, some news, just a bunch of part 2 stuff in general. We're going to be talking about some theories, what might happen. Obviously we've got set images, not official ones, but we do have lots of set images, so we're going to be going over what's in that, what that implies for the show, potential arcs for characters, what I think might happen, stuff like that. Just a general discussion. It's going to be a bit of a looser video than my previous ones, but we're just going to have a talk about stuff that I think might happen, what I think won't happen, that people do, and just stuff like that. Alright, let's get into this. I think it's fitting that we start with what we know the most about. So, obviously, Season 4 ends off with all the ninja in the monastery celebrating their victory, and to the shock of everybody, we see Sora's parents back. Now, obviously, if you've watched Season 4, you know that Sora's parents were loyalists, and I think this is going to be a huge element early on in Season 4. Season 4 Part 2. I'm not sure how it's going to work exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's either going to be Beatrix returning because of Sora's parents or something else like that. But I think you can tell there's a specific shot of Sora once the monastery gates are open before we specifically see her parents and know it's her parents, where she looks like worried and nervous, not happy to see them. Obviously, we know why. She completely disagrees with them. They didn't look out for her. They cared more about Beatrix than their own daughter. So, fair enough. But I think early on in Season 4 Part 2, there's going to be an emphasis on Aaron particularly trying to get Sora back with her parents in a happy way. Because obviously we know Aaron's got a great relationship with his parents. We saw Frack's dad in Part 1. I think there's going to be a big emphasis on like a question of, are Sora's parents still evil? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, because we saw them in Loyalist masks, so I'm guessing they are still, and they've got something planned. But I think that's going to be the key focus. There was the rumor that the picture with Aaron with the disc, apparently that's a scene of them all playing like Frisbee or whatever with Sora's parents, and like I said, Aaron's trying to get them together. So I think that's going to be a big element early on. Maybe the OG ninja are off doing something else, and the new ninja are with Sora's parents. So I think that's going to be a big element of Part 2 that I'm really excited to explore, because we got Frack's dad and we didn't get him redeemed. Sort of. We kind of got him redeemed, but he's still Frack's dad. He didn't change how he acted. And I think my biggest want for this is I don't want Sora's parents to be redeemed. I want them to be evil, and it sort of challenge Aaron's worldview a bit, because we know, I think it makes more sense if they're not, because obviously we just saw them in the Loyalist outfits. They've clearly not changed their beliefs. So that's the thing we know. What else do we know? Let's talk. We know Raz just got another icon. I think the icons are going to be probably the biggest part of Part 2, if I was to guess. It's either that or it's going to be Part 1 of Season 5. But based off the fact that that was the last scene from Part 1, I'm guessing that means it's a big deal that Raz just got another icon. So, let's think about it. There's 7 Source Dragons. He's got 3. He's nearly halfway there. And we know where the 4th one is. It's at the monastery. So, I'm thinking something's going to happen early on because only Aaron, if you think about it, only Aaron and Lloyd that we know of know anything about icons. So, I think we're going to find out what happened with the motion icon. What did Lloyd do with it? Because clearly it's hidden or something, because Raz didn't get it from the monastery. So, we're going to find out about that. I reckon we're going to get the other ninja finding out about the icons. Maybe there's some sort of inciting incident where Raz attacks somewhere to get an icon. I think that might be what happened. Raz attacks somewhere, gets an icon, then they learn, and Aaron shares what he learnt from Raz about the source icon of strength, the hammer. So I think that's going to be sort of the kickstart to the big plot, the main plot of part 2. We've also, since we got the set images, I think I won't show them yet because we're going to do a whole separate video on the actual sets once they're on lego.com and I know the prices. But very interesting to note, there is a blue background very similar to the season 11 sets that were set in the Netherrealm. And obviously we literally had the Titan Mech remade this year and the Land Bounty remade. I'm starting to think that's not a coincidence. That's a lot of coincidences for it to not mean anything. Like, season 11 isn't this standout season. It was the start of the Wild Brain era, but it's not like universally talked about all the time. It's just, so I think there's a reason for this. And we've been getting the rumors that maybe Akita's coming back. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm down to see her back. I'm excited to see her back. She's not my first choice of a character to come back. I'd much prefer maybe, let's think, who would make sense? I mean, we saw Dareth. That was pretty underwhelming. Maybe, I don't know really. There's not really a character that I want to come back, like I need them to come back. Wu, I prefer. We'll do a separate video on this because I want to talk about this. But I don't think Wu should come back in Dragon's Rising, full stop. But I can't really think of another side character that I really need to come back. So I'd be down for Akita to come back. Maybe we'll get Kataru as well. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, so what else do we have to talk about? Obviously, we've got the set images. Yeah, this is my other point. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I don't know if Beatrix is returning or not. I'm getting pulled in both directions. Obviously, the direction that's pulling me in the fact that it might happen, two main reasons. We've got the set image of the Beatrix mech with the Wildfire mech, but that's not really that reliable to me. To me, that just seems like they didn't want to spoil it for part 1, so they just waited for part 2. They've done that previously with... What have they done that with? Let me think quick. Let's see if I can get an example. I don't have an example offhand, but they've definitely done that before though. I mean, yeah, season 1 and rebooted. We'll use rebooted. Rebooted. They didn't do the stone armor straight away, and they didn't do the Overlord straight away, so they didn't spoil his design. So they've done that before, which is pointing me in the direction that it might not be Beatrix returning, which I'm fine either way. She's not like my favorite character. I don't have anything. She's just there. Like, it's Beatrix. She's good, but I'd much prefer Raz to be the villain than Beatrix, because I think Raz is a top 5 Ninjago villain easily, maybe top 3. I'd much prefer him to just be the main villain. So, and yeah, so we got that. But the thing that does point me in the direction that it might be happening is Sora's parents coming back. Because, as I spoke about before, they're coming back for a reason. It's not to build the relationship back with Sora. I'm very sure that it's not that. I'd be extremely surprised if it was that. And I don't think that's a good direction to go for those characters. I think they've made their decision, and it's siding with the Empress, not their daughter. I think that's pretty clear. We've known that since season 1. Unless there's a huge change in something, I don't just see them randomly switching to Sora's side because they lost, because they literally didn't before. So, I think the only way I see Beatrix coming back is if it's something to do with Sora's parents, which would be quite interesting, to be honest. That sounds pretty interesting, but that's the only way I see happening. Now, we got to talk about the new character, who is the same species as Raz. I don't know what species Raz is. Have we been told? Let's check. Lord Raz. I'm talking about Silver, obviously. Yeah, just Tiger. That's what we know so far. This is very interesting because we haven't seen much of Raz's tribe, but from what we've seen, being Raz and what's his name, Zakar, we haven't seen white tigers. I'm pretty sure they're related. They've literally got the same head mold. So be interested to learn about Silva. What's his relationship with Raz? Are they enemies? Are they a different faction? Is it sort of not like Chima, but Chima-esque, how there's different factions like a war? That'd be pretty interesting. I'm excited to learn about Silva and Grimtack, or yeah, Grimtack or Grimtack, I'm pretty sure. From that set, we know about him. We obviously know the ninja are keeping the same suits, which in the show doesn't bother me at all. In the sets, it does. We'll get into that in the set image video, but in the show, it doesn't bother me at all. I think the Draconis forms are really cool in the show, so I don't mind. I don't with if Beatrix coming back. Going back to that, I'm fine with her coming back, but Laro, not as much. I just don't. We've had enough of Laro. Like, she's a side villain. Her motives now they're even worse if she's still supporting Beatrix, because she's got multiple occurrences of Beatrix being unstable. She literally states that she knows Beatrix is unstable, but just didn't like how Imperium was being run. So that needs to not happen. No more Laro. I would be interested to see more Loyalists, which we might be getting, because they were my favorite villain part of the season, because it's really interesting how they've sort of seeped into every part of Ninjago, like the administration, Umbra Silvus, even Imperium itself. One other. What was the other place? I'm losing it. Oh, the Explorers Club. There we go. It was very interesting to see how they've infiltrated every place so well, and they're so disguised. Like, especially Johnny Bravo, the guy that was in the Explorers Club. They had no idea that he was an Imperium, even. Like, so I would be interested to see a bit more Loyalists, especially if we're going to say the Never Realm. Getting to see if there's any Loyalists that have gone into separate cultures there. That'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, that's mainly what I want to talk about this video. Last little thing, I want to see a bit more of the Weapon of Desolation. I want to learn where it's from, and I want to find out a bit more about the place that Sora, Frack, Ryu, and Wildfire started off in part 1. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's the same place Laro found the Weapon of Desolation. So I want to learn a bit more about that place. But aside from that, that's about all I want to talk about in this video. I'll do a longer video similar to the one I did for part 1 when we get closer to the season. Fingers crossed it doesn't leak, because that'd be a bit of a disaster. But yeah, that's about all I got to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the video. And goodbye.